Now we are going to start with our lesson number 8, that is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride exists in two states. First one is a gaseous state, and in a gaseous state it is called as hydrogen chloride, and in a liquid state it is called as hydrochloric acid. As you all know, hydrogen has 1 electron in its outermost shell and chlorine has 7 electrons. So they are going to share their electron. So they are held together by covalent bond. But the electronegativity of chlorine is much higher than that of hydrogen. That is why this type of bond is called as polar covalent bond. This is we have done in our chapter number 2. Now, how can we prepare HCl? So HCl can be prepared by two ways. First one is by direct combination. Directly we have taken hydrogen and chlorine, expose it to diffuse sunlight, and it will form HCl. Or we can take any metal chloride, react it with concentrated H2SO4. Below 200 degrees Celsius it will form salt and HCl. See how NaCl going to react with H2SO4. Below 200 it will break down in H plus and HSO4 minus, Na plus and Cl minus. Na is going to react with HSO4, HSO4. H is going to react with Cl, HCl. Our purpose is to form HCl that has been made. Similarly, CuCl2, here Cu is plus 2, Cl is minus 1. It will break down in H plus and HSO4 minus. CuHSO4. Wait. Here it is going to form CuHSO4 and HCl. CuHSO4 and HCl. Now, this is not so that this reaction will proceed only below 200 degrees Celsius, but it can also proceed above 200 degrees Celsius. But at above 200 degrees Celsius, all the hydrogen will release to H plus and SO4 minus to Na plus and Cl minus. So Na is going to react with SO4, Na2SO4, NH is going to react with Cl, HCl. But there is some consequences with this type of compound that we are going to study further. Alright, so these are the two methods by which HCl can be prepared. But most important, how can we prepare HCl in the lab? Now this is lab method of preparation of HCl. How can we prepare HCl? For this, first we need NaCl. NaCl is going to react with concentrated H2SO4. Temperature we should take it below 200 degrees Celsius. And below 200 degrees Celsius it will break down in H plus and HSO4 minus. Na plus and Cl minus. Na is going to react with HSO4, HSO4 and H is going to react with Cl, HCl. Our purpose was to make HCl. HCl has been made. But how? What is the apparatus? How? So we will take a round bottom flask. Inside the round bottom flask we will take NaCl. From this thistle funnel, this is your thistle funnel. From this thistle funnel we will start pouring concentrated H2SO4. The lower end of thistle funnel should touch the concentrated H2SO4 so that it should directly come in contact with NaCl directly. We will heat it up from here. Because it is liquid, H2SO4 is a liquid gas is being released, so bubbles we will see. Bubbles will come. Here fumes will come now. Out of this liquid, fumes will come. From this, it will go in another container containing concentrated H2SO4. What is the use of this H2SO4? This is acting as a drying agent over here. Means when it will come in the form of fumes here, it may contain air, it may contain water vapor, so it will carry it with it, right? So this concentrated H2SO4 will dehydrate it, dry it, all the water vapors, all the moisture, all the air will remove. And from here, it will go from this delivery tube to this container in which we will collect it. And method of collection of HCl is by upward displacement of air. Means it will come down because it needs some space, so it will push the air out. So it will push the air out. It is upward displacement of air. Alright. Why it is collected by upward displacement of air? Because it is heavier than air. Next, so many questions come from here. So what are these questions? सबसे पहले the first question, why NaCl is used in place of NaCl? Any other metallic chloride like KCl we can use, CaCl2 we can use, but we are not using. Why only NaCl? Because it is cheap and easily available. First thing. Second, why temperature is kept at below 200 degrees Celsius? Temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius only. Why not? We cannot move it to above 200 degrees Celsius. Because above 200 degrees Celsius, what is forming? Na2SO4. And what is Na? All the hydrogen ion will release. So it is forming Na2SO4 like H plus and SO4 minus 2 Na plus Cl minus. So it is going to form Na2SO4. It is not so HCl is not forming. HCl will form. Again, but with it, what is forming? Na2SO4, which is hard crust solid. What is the meaning of hard crust solid? Means the container. Suppose in a round bottom class we are preparing the hard crust solid, so it will stick to the wall like this. It will stick to the wall of the container. All right. So further we are providing heat. Heat will not go inside very well. It will not heat up. So it will not heat up. It will not heat up. So product will not form. First thing, hard crust solid. Second, above 200, the reaction can occur below 200. Why we should give the temperature above 200? So fuel will be, second point is, fuel will be wasted. And then, third point, it will provide above 200 degrees Celsius of temperature, the glass apparatus may crack because it is made up of glass. So much high temperature will make the glass apparatus to crack. So there are 3 points why the temperature is kept at below 200 degrees Celsius. First one, because above 200 degrees Celsius. So there are 3 points why the temperature should be kept below 200 degrees Celsius. First of all, it will form Na2SO4, which is a hard crust solid, sticks to the wall of the round bottom flask. Second one, fuel is wasted when reaction can take place below 200 degrees Celsius. What is the use of giving above 200 degrees Celsius? And third one, if the high temperature will be given, then glass apparatus may crack. Now third question, why concentrated HNO3 cannot be used? NaCl we are taking and reacting it with HNO3. So Na plus Cl minus, 1 H is there, so it will release H plus NO3 minus. So it is going to form NaNO3 plus HCl. HCl is forming, but why we are not taking this? Because HNO3 is volatile acid. What is volatile acid? That can vaporize very easily at a lower temperature. Means if we are giving temperature 200, below 200 means 180, 190, like this temperature we are giving, so it will also vaporize. So along with the fumes of HCl, fumes of HNO3 will also come out. So how can you differentiate between these two? So HNO3 is not used because it is volatile acid and H2SO4 is non-volatile acid. Why it can, now we are drying it by using concentrated H2SO4. Other drying agent are also there like CaO, like P2O5. Why we are not using it? Because CaO and P2O5, they are bases and HCl gases form. But if little bit of water will be given to it, will form acid. Acid and base react together to form salt and water. So reaction will take place between CaO and HCl. That is why we cannot use to dry HCl by CO and P2O5. We are drying it by concentrated H2SO4 only. Third one, next one, it is collected by downward delivery. Downward delivery is also called a downward delivery, means like this. It is coming like downward delivery or upward displacement. It is one thing. So why it is collected by downward delivery or upward displacement of air? Because it is heavier than air. Next, why it is not collected over water? So why it is not collected over water? Because it is highly soluble in water. So these are few questions that can come with this topic, that is lab preparation of HCl. Now, how can you identify that gas that has been evolved is HCl? How can you identify? A glass rod dipped in ammonia. Glass rod dipped in ammonia will be taken over HCl Suppose this is your test tube and this HCl is there. So glass rod dipped in ammonia, you will take over it. So here you will see fumes. Here you will see the fumes. That is a dense white fumes of NH4Cl. Alright. So this is the identification point. And NH4Cl is a compound that contains all the three type of bond, as I told you in chemical bonding, that it contain coordinate bond, covalent bond and electrovalent, all the three kind of bond. Now what are the physical properties? Physical property of HCl gas, that it is a colorless gas, pungent smell, pungent choking smell, heavier than air, highly soluble in water, and it has sour taste. Now how it is heavier than air, how can we identify that it is heavier than air? So we will take an empty jar and a jar full of HCl. We will pour like this. As we pour water in one glass to another glass, we will start pouring HCl like this. HCl will go in, alright, and air will move out. After some time, you can test it by this method. Glass rod dipped in ammonia, you can take it over this test tube A, you will see dense white fumes. Or you can do one thing, you can take a candle. Before pouring, you can take a candle which is lit. Alright. So when HCl will go in, HCl will go in, air will go out, air will go out, and HCl is non-supporter of combustion. It will take a space over here, air will go out, air will go out, so there will be no supporter of combustion. So no supporter of combustion, this candle will get extinguished. Alright. Now there is next experiment to show HCl is highly soluble in a water. This experiment is very important experiment, as it is there in HCl also and in ammonia also. Ammonia is next chapter. It is there in that chapter also, which is called as fountain experiment. The main objective of fountain experiment is to show that HCl is highly soluble in a water. Suppose we have 100 ml of HCl, yes, 700 ml of HCl. So it can dissolve in 1 ml or 10 ml of water. Means that much soluble it is there in water. Now, what is the experiment? In which we take round bottom flask in an inverted position, and this round bottom flask should be fully filled with HCl gas. One capillary tube or one glass rod should be there. The other end of the glass rod should be there in a tube containing blue litmus solution. It is what? Blue litmus solution. Here we will add one dropper, and this dropper contain water. This dropper should contain water. Now what happened? Very easy. It is what happened. We will squeeze this dropper. We will squeeze this dropper. So water droplet will go in. 1 or 2 or 3 droplets it will go in. So it will go into all the HCl. Approximately all the HCl molecule. HCl gas it is, so it should be apart from each other, because it is there is a large intermolecular space between them. So as soon as you will pour a water in it, it will dissolve. These all will get dissolved in a water. So they create a vacuum. They create a vacuum. Pressure will create it, right? Up here atmospheric pressure is taking place. Inside pressure get decreased, because all the particles, whatever the gas particles are there, it will dissolve in a water. So there will be a more space. There will be a more space. So here atmospheric pressure will be higher and there pressure will be lower. So this blue litmus will start going inside, and it will go inside and come in the form of fountain. One thing, it will come in the form of fountain. You have poured water droplets. So this water has dissolved all the HCl. So water has dissolved all the HCl. Now it will act as a HCl acid. It will act as a HCl acid, because water is there. So it must have broken its bond, H plus and Cl minus. Which solution it is? Blue litmus. And you all know in an acid, blue litmus turns red. So here you will look that in a tube it will be a blue, but when it will go inside and fountain, you will see the color of this fountain will be red. Why red? Because HCl has dissolved in a water to that much extent that it has formed the acid, and Acid it has formed means H plus or hydronium it must be having. So hydronium or H plus will turn blue litmus into red. And this proves what? That HCl is highly soluble in a water and HCl is having acidic character. Now what are the chemical properties of HCl gas? See, chemical properties of gas I am talking about, not acid. I am talking about HCl gas. So combustibility, when it comes to combustibility, it is neither combustible nor the supporter of combustion. Thermal decomposition, so when we will pass above 500 degrees Celsius of temperature to HCl gas, it will break down in hydrogen and chlorine. Metal, when reacts with HCl, salt and hydrogen will form, but it is only possible with the metal that are placed above hydrogen. And second, this reaction will carry out if it is a gas. So this reaction will carry out only when we will heat it. Alright. Next, when ammonia reacts with HCl, so dense white fumes of NH4Cl is going to form. These are only 4 properties of HCl gas. Now, how can we prepare HCl acid in the lab? We have prepared HCl gas in the lab. How can we prepare HCl acid in the lab? As you all know, HCl is highly soluble in a water. So whatever apparatus we have used in HCl gas, that only we will use. But the thing is, with that apparatus where we have collected the HCl, suppose from here we have collected, where we have collected the HCl, from here one delivery tube will come and it will go in the tube containing water. So what happened? From here HCl will come and it will get dissolved, but there are some consequences, right? Here it is fully closed, right? HCl will come and it will dissolve. As I told you, 700 ml of HCl can dissolve in approximately 10 ml of water. Yeah, 1 ml of water, 1 to 10 ml of water, right? So यहाँ पर production will be less, dissolving will be more. So here what will create? Vacuum, pressure will create. So this water will start going inside. When water will start going inside, it will go in a generating flask. It will go in a production flask, generating flask. So there are reactants, reaction, everything will stop. It will be a disaster. Why? Because from here it is going in a collecting jar where we have here collected the HCl, right? When this jar will be filled, it will go in generating flask where the down bottom flask. So वो हमारा जो reactant that will also be destroyed. So there must be something. There must be production. We cannot say we will take a large amount of reactant, so large amount of HCl will form. So it will take time. No, it will not take time because it is highly soluble in a water. So what arrangement is used? A new arrangement. Arrangement is used that is called as funnel arrangement. That is called as funnel arrangement. This arrangement is used. The end of this funnel should touch the water level. The end of this funnel should touch the water level. Now HCl will come. It will dissolve from here. 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 It will take time. Means firstly all the HCl will filled over here. Then it will start dissolving. So time will be more. Time we will get the production. The production will be taking place. More HCl will come. Right or wrong? But the thing is, this will take time. I am getting the thing. This will take time. But here, atmospheric pressure is taking place. HCl is highly soluble in our water. So water will start going inside. Water will start going inside because vacuum will create inside this funnel now, right? So water will start going inside. So it will push the funnel upward. It will push the funnel upward. So funnel will go little bit upward from the water. So now it creates air gap. Air gap has been created. Air gap has been created. So pressure will equalize. Again, funnel will come down. Water will come down. Understanding or not? Listen once again. Here, HCl is coming. HCl will start dissolving from this side, start dissolving from this side, start dissolving from this side. So here, amount of HCl will get less. So यहाँ पर vacuum. Here amount of HCl will get less, vacuum. So it will force the water to push inside. So when water will go inside, funnel will up, because it will push the funnel, then it will go up. Funnel will up, so air space will take place. Air space will take place. So atmospheric, due to the atmospheric pressure, it will get equalized. Again funnel will come down. Again funnel will come down. The water will also come down. So in this way, this water will fight with this funnel. Means in the normal language you will see, so this water will keep on fighting with this funnel. Until then, production of HCl will be taking place and it will come from here. Alright, I hope you understand. So for the lab preparation of HCl, which arrangement we have used? What is the name of this arrangement? Inverted funnel arrangement. What are the advantages of using this inverted funnel arrangement? That it provides large surface area. Large surface area, ordinary narrow glass tube if we have used, so surface area will be less. Now we have used this inverted funnel, so it will provide this much of space, so it is providing large surface area. Back suction of water, it is preventing. It prevents back suction of water. What is back suction? Back suction means water will go inside the generating flask. Back suction, back. Due to the pressure, due to the suction, it is going in a generating flask. That is called as back suction of water. Alright. So what is this inverted funnel arrangement? Why is this inverted funnel arrangement used? It prevents back suction of water and provides a large surface area. If in place of this, what is this? Funnel, inverted funnel. We have used a capillary, a single capillary tube like narrow glass tube. What happened? So back suction will take place because it will fill very quickly and back suction will take place. Back suction will take place, so it will go in a generating flask. Generating flask will go. There we are using concentrated H2SO4. Heat will produce, explosion may take place and the reactant will also get destroyed. Alright. One more thing. To prevent, sometime हो सकता है कि यहाँ से भी back suction हो जाए. वैसे it is not possible कि यहाँ से back suction will take place. So to prevent this back suction, anti-back suction device is being installed. कैसे? Between this, one flask is kept. Between this, one flask is kept that is totally empty. That is totally empty. So if water back suction will take place, so it will firstly fill this one, then it will go in a generating flask. Till then, HCl will produce, so it will come, right? So this is also anti-suction device can also be placed to prevent back suction of water, but not with this capillary, with only this funnel arrangement. इसके through तो back suction will take place for sure. Now what are the chemical properties of HCl acid? सबसे पहले it is acid. First of all, it is acid. So what properties of the acid are there? That it show color change on the indicator. When it reacts with metal, it liberates hydrogen. When acid and base reacts, it forms salt and water. When carbonate react with acid, it releases carbon dioxide. When sulfite is SO3 minus 2. When reacts with acid, it forms sulfur dioxide. So when sulfide reacts with acid, it forms hydrogen sulfide. So these are the common properties of all the acids. All the acids that we are taking in a dilute form. Alright. So first one, indicator. Three types of indicators are there. First one, litmus. Second one, methyl orange. Third one, phenolphthalein. So litmus will turn blue litmus will turn red, means it will show which color on the litmus? Red. Methyl orange will show pink or red color. Phenolphthalein will show no color, means it is colorless, it will remain colorless. So any active metal which are placed above hydrogen like magnesium, sodium, calcium, potassium, zinc, aluminium, they all reacts with HCl, Mg is plus 2. H is plus 1, Cl minus. It is all in a dilute form. Dilute form means less amount of acid, more amount of water. It is going to form NaCl2, and which gas is released? Hydrogen. And what is the identification point? That it burns with a pop sound, right? Any base reacts with the acid form, salt and water. This is neutralization, right? So neutralization also it is going to show. Any carbonate react with acid. So carbonate Na2CO3, Na is plus 1, CO3 is minus 2. H plus 1, Cl minus. Na is going to react with Cl. It is going to form NaCl. Now, because it is carbonate, it is going to evolve which gas? Carbon dioxide. And together with this, what it is going to release? Water. Carbon dioxide, when released, it released with a brisk effervescence. It turns lime water milky, but doesn't affect your K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4. इन पर इसका कोई भी इफेक्ट नहीं होता, राइट? सल्फाइट SO3 minus 2, Na plus, SO3 minus 2, H plus, Cl minus. NaCl, which gas it is releasing? Sulfur dioxide and water. Sulfur dioxide also show brisk effervescence, right? It also turns lime water milky, but it affects K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4, right? Sulfide, that is ZnS. Zn is plus 2, S is minus 2, H plus and Cl minus. What it is going to form? ZnCl2 and H2S. So what is the identification of this H2S? That it smells like a rotten egg. So observation will be, rotten egg smelling gas H2S evolve. Alright. So these are all the common property till here. These all are the common properties of all the acids. Now, what is the next specific property of this HCl? When it comes to thiosulfate is S2O3 minus 2. When it comes to thiosulfate, when it reacts with HCl, it releases sulfur dioxide, water, salt, just like sulfite, just like it is doing with sulfide. But the specific is it release sulfur as a yellow precipitate. So Na2S2O3, sodium thiosulfate we will take, reacted with HCl. This HCl will also be dilute. What it is going to form? NaCl, SO3 and H2O. यहाँ तक तो the reaction is same as sulfite, but here the thing is, what is releasing? Yellow precipitate of sulfur. So your observation will be, suppose in our observation it is asked sodium thiosulfate reacts with HCl, what happened? Then you will say brisk effervescence of sulfur dioxide evolved with the yellow precipitate of sulfur. Alright. Next, these two reaction you are very much able to understand. These are precipitation reaction, means they are forming precipitate. So silver nitrate reacts with HCl, it is going to form AgCl and HNO3. It forms curdy white precipitate. Lead nitrate react with HCl, it is forming PbCl2, right? It is also having a white precipitate, but this PbCl2, if you remember in our acid base and salt chapter, we have learned about this PbCl2, that it dissolve in hot water, not in cold water. Alright. Last but not the least, reaction oxidation by HCl. Here the HCl which we are using, that is concentrated. Alright. HCl is oxidized to chlorine gas by certain oxidizing agent. Okay. Here we are taking PbO2. PbO2, as we have learned in acid, base and salt, PbO2 is a base, oxides are the base, but it is not considered as a base because when it reacts with HCl acid, it is forming PbCl2 water, just as neutralization. But together with this, what is forming? Cl2, chlorine gas. So base तभी base होता है when it is releasing only salt and water, but it is releasing chlorine That is why it is not a base. These reactions, all the reactions of HCl you have to learn. Alright. PbO2 lead oxide, MnO2 manganese dioxide, Pb3O4 red lead, KMnO4 potassium magnate. But exception is CaOCl2. This is bleaching powder. Already it is having chlorine, so it will oxidize to chlorine by dilute HCl also, right? So only this much you have to learn. With CaOCl2 water release, which kind of acid we are using? Dilute. All right. One more reaction, there is aquaregia. Aquaregia you have learned, I think. Aquaregia is what? HCl reacts with HNO3. HCl reacts. This is aquaregia, that is 3 part of HCl combined with 1 part of nitric acid, both concentrated, forms NOCl, that is nitrosyl chloride, water and this chlorine. What is the use of this aquaregia? That it can dissolve the metals like gold, silver, right? Because gold cannot dissolve in anything, but the aquaregia is one of the chemical in which gold can be dissolved. So why gold is dissolving? Due to this nascent chlorine. Nascent chlorine is dissolving that gold. All right. Why not? This is a property of nascent chlorine, that it is dissolving. All right. Now, what are the tests of HCl gas or HCl acid? What are the tests? How can you identify that it is a HCl gas or HCl acid? First of all, its pungent smell, right? Second, glass or dipped in ammonia is taken over HCl, either gas or HCl acid. A dense white fumes of NH4Cl is going to form. Next one, suppose we have taken silver nitrate and in this we have poured HCl acid. So curdy white precipitate of AgCl formed. So this will confirm that that the substance we have taken is HCl. Suppose we have taken MnO2 and we have passed this HCl in it in a concentrated form. Yeah, in a more form means acid amounts will be more. So what it is going to form? Chlorine. And chlorine identification is that it is a greenish yellow gas. That is a greenish yellow gas. With the concentrated it is forming, with the dilute also it can form, but dilute amount will be more. Alright. So these are the 4 things. First one, it burns with a pungent smell. It is having a pungent smell. Ammonia rod over HCl, dense white fumes of NH4Cl. Silver nitrate reacts with HCl, curdy white precipitate will be seen. MnO2, yeah, any oxidizing agent, Pb3O4, PbO2, whatever we can take. So we will see a greenish yellow gas will evolve. Greenish yellow gas of chlorine will evolve. So chlorine test is there in our practical work. So when we will go in a lab, when school will get open, you will go in the lab and there you will be able to see that it is a greenish yellow gas. One topic is left, very small topic, azeotrope. Now what is azeotrope? Azeotrope is a constant boiling mixture. See, what is constant boiling mixture? HCl can be made concentrated by distillation. Means how can we make a concentrated HCl? By distillation. So by distillation is what? Heating and then cooling down, right? So at 110 degrees Celsius, only 22% by weight of HCl can dissolve in 77.8% by weight of water. Why I am saying 110? Because above 110 it will evaporate, because it is volatile acid, it will evaporate. So 110 per it will vaporize. So before 110 concentration can be made, concentrated acid can be made. So this at that time only 22.2% by weight of HCl can dissolve in 77.8% weight of water. So at 110 degrees Celsius, HCl is forming constant boiling mixture, which is called as azeotrope. Alright.